go for the start of the final session of our Le Mans 24 hours, and Matty Seeking has taken off. He's got a 10-second start before the number one Porsche team in the LMPHs of Sato 15, and off he goes. And then we'll also have, we've already seen Commander Series in the BMW go, 35 seconds, so that'll be 59.24 seconds remaining. We will then see the two of Colonel Lloyd, the birthday boy, in the Chevrolet, and Nürburger in the Ford Ferrari, right beside him go. They're separated by a second. So there goes Lloyd, and Nürburger should be right to go. And then the next to go will be Dado Racer in the reigning champion car of the Aston Martin. He should be going in about another 5 seconds time to start his race. And then the next to go after Dado from the time compression based on our session 3 results will be Lolux in the 6-notch Motorsport Toyota. And there he goes, and unfortunately Dark Lord in the Porsche in the GT will have to wait until 58.15 remaining, so he's got another 30 seconds to wait before he can go, so we might go to the action. I'm your host, Woody Lizard, and with me is Dark Racing 40. Welcome.
Howdy, howdy. So we're here for the final sessions of Le Mans here. So this should be a thrilling conclusion here to what's been a great event this year. So
yes, and it looks like already out of the box, the Porsche has already gained about 2 seconds. He had a 10-second wait time, so he's been able to try and make the most. It's probably about a second and a half at the moment once they get going on up to around their race pace. Over Matty Seeking. Weary Knight doing a tremendous job. Had a great battle with you, Darky, in the third session.
That's it.
These were close and separated by 2 seconds for the majority of the start of that race.
It was a good battle.
Unfortunately, your Porsche, the cameras just missed it. We were following you, but you got ducked behind the trees in the Porsche curves, and it looked like you went stage exit right or left. I can't remember which way it was.
Entered the Porsche curves, and the car just didn't stick. It just understeered straight off, and I clipped the wall. Unfortunately, the front clip flew off my car, and I copped suspension damage, which forced me to pit that lap, which was quite annoying because I could have gone at least another 2 more laps around before I actually had to pit. So slightly annoying, but it wasn't that bad. You know, lost a bit of time, but made it back up. So that's all the main thing. It keeps us in the hunt here. So.
And the BMW here Commander Series had a very good, about a 20-minute battle with last year's car winner of the 48 Besman Racing, Aston Martin.
Nürburg's already got ahead of Lloyd here, so he's jumped up a position, and Lloyd's copped a penalty already.
Yeah, I think Lloydie might have, when he took off, I heard him bang the outside, maybe the fence or something, so off the grid, so trying to avoid obviously Lolux.
That's it.
Gassed it up early and didn't get it through properly.
And here comes Lolux in the Toyota. They haven't quite had the pace in the Toyota this year, but they're doing well. They're not that far back. Or they're just struggling for just overall pace, which I think the Toyota's a bit weird to try and make the actual quick lap times. Oh, Lolux. Kind of got a bit surprised there by a Corvette. He's like, oh, I might catch this and just caught him too quickly in court. So he goes down the inside of the Corvette now.
To get the extra power to get down the inside there. Vernage, and then off to him towards the Porsche curve where he may just get caught up behind of Nürburger in the Ford.
Yes, he will.
He definitely will get caught. So that's going to be costly for Lolux early on.
That's it. And Dark Lord's up and running too. He's now at the end of the Mulsanne Straight.
Always pushing the point. You don't want to do that. He should have just
spanked the wall.
Yeah, that's a big mistake there. You should have realised that you need to just bide your time.
Hopefully he hasn't got any damage on that, but we'll see how he goes. Now he can have another
hit on the side. It could be getting away with it.
See if he pits. No, he's going to continue on.
Lucky he didn't take out Nürburger at the time, because Nürburger's having a good run there in second at the moment. Now he's got to chase down Cirrus, who's roughly, 30 seconds down the road.
Yep, he's seriously just coming onto the Mulsanne Straight now. There he is in the Beamer. And Lloydie's pitted, so Lloydie must have damage. He wouldn't be pitting for fuel now, because his car had enough fuel to do a while. So here's the first stop. This might be strategic. Because we know the Corvette can't quite do the hour, but if he's going to stop now, he might be taking fuel into... Oh no, that's just a repair job. So he must have copped damage. If I was Lordy, I would have filled up the tanks now, because we know the Corvette cannot do the full hour, but we're under the hour. So if you fill it up now, this will be just the run to home now.
Yeah, it's all these little moments on the fly, they're just getting wrong. So it's hard to do.
That's it. So
it's easy us while we're in the comfortable commentary booth, and we can run through that. But on the fly, as you're a driver, you've got to make those decisions there and then.
That's it.
As we might just run through quickly, we had obviously the fuel load based on what they finished on in the third session previously. Matty Seeking here had to start on 44 litres of fuel. And then the car behind him in the Porsche team was of Sato 15 had to start on 61 litres.
Yeah, he's under that.
And then Lolux obviously was on 53.
Yep, he's fine there.
So they've all had their fuels there, and then Commander Cirrus was on 92 litres. That BMW's normally about 101, I think, for a full tank, so it was pretty close. As you said, Colonel Lloyd was on 53 litres. I believe that Corvette would have a lot more than that normal, so he did fill it up.
He did fill it up, so he's rolled the dice now, so he's going to run to the end now. It looked like they didn't put any fuel in the car, but yeah, he's filled the tank up, so this is his run to the end now, so we won't see that Corvette back in at all, so... Nürburgring.
No, he's got some nice clean track, which is very good. So Nürburgring had 61 litres to start off with in the Ford.
Yep.
And then the Aston Martin, was on 91 litres.
Yep.
With Dado Racer, and then the Porsche was at 55.
That's it.
So fuel strategy was part of the thing in session 3. The guys all trying to juggle a little bit of fuel and make sure that they can try and have full tanks for this run.
So Lolux is closing in on... Whoa, bit too deep. You're a bit excited here.
Now,
also,
Sato is moving into striking distance of Matty Seeking. 2 seconds faster the previous lap. Matty's got a clear track. He's just on the news lane straight now.
Yeah, so Sismus has an issue there because he's lost a bit of time there. But 5 seconds isn't much, so anything can happen.
Well, yeah, this final hour, where they've been running for 5 hours already over the 3 sessions, so this is the start of the final hour. And that'll take it through 6 hours of total racing. In-game time, we've been doing 22 hours, so we're into this is ×2 time progression to get the full 24-hour period.
And Matty's up on his time now, so you can see Sato in the background there. You can see the track map. All the cars are pretty much spread out. There's no one really near each other.
That's sure to get grouped together eventually, I'd say.
You sort of seem to come across cars at the same point again and again. I had that in the last session with Dark Lord. I passed him once coming towards the Porsche curves, and when I pit, I passed him again coming into the Porsche curves. So it's kind of weird how that happens. You kind of meet cars at the exact same spot every single time. And you know, if you meet one car in a bad spot, most likely you're going to meet them again in the bad spot. So
yeah, it's crazy how it works. We notice some of those LMPH cars get a little bit more wider on the turn entry of the news lane corner. It's no penalty if you go right out onto that white line.
No, it depends on how far. If you on the exit curb, if you just ride the curb, you're fine. But if you ride the curb and then cross that line, then it will give you the penalty. So
right.
I was watching Matty Seeking here in the Audis as he goes deep, almost slings it too wide there. Let's see, Lolux should be just on the backside of Cirrus now to actually officially take over position 3. There he is.
They should be easy work for the Toyota.
That's it, and there he goes. So Lolux now officially moves into 3rd overall. So if we look at Cirrus, he's got a 38-second lead over Nürburgring now. Look, it's almost one section of the Mulsanne straight here between the chicanes. That's how big of a gap he has right now. He doesn't have to do anything fancy now. He just has to literally just keep the car on track and just punch out numbers. They don't have to be fast numbers, they just have to be decent numbers, and that's it. He's got 40 seconds to burn.
Yeah, the thing is too, he's going to stop for a little bit longer for fuel. Nürburgring had a little bit more fuel, so his wait time when he pits Nürburgring won't be as long, but Nürburgring started 36 seconds behind, so he's only dropped 2 seconds, and when they get moving and get comfortable, we'll probably see Nürburgring maybe eat a little bit away, and it's all the ebbs and flows, is it, with traffic as well. Once they start lapping their own GT cars, or even running in with the LMPHs and maybe needing to avoid a little bit, they lose a bit of time.
Yep, that's it. So I think means.
But can last year's champions go back to back in 2 different manufacturers? They won in the number 8 Team Yost Audi R18, and this year they're out in Team Porsche Racing number 1. The Sato 15 and Dark Racing 40 here in the commentary box. Obviously, fingers crossed, everything else crossed, to see if he can challenge Matty in front.
That's it. So I've done my pass. I had one mistake, so which seems to be the running theme for me for this year in special events. I have one mistake, and it tends to be a bit of a biggie. But now it's Sato's turn to pull up to make up for my mistake. So. Also, I found
Sato's fast.
Also, I had a technical issue which I didn't realise the session last night. I had a setting on which normally I have switched off for this race, and that's why I was so slow last night. So I kind of worked out, oh, that's why I couldn't do quick times.
You're going to enlighten everyone what that setting may have been?
Auto clutch. I had auto clutch on.
Okay.
So unfortunately, with these cars, auto clutch actually costs you pace. And Lolux is in pit lane now.
Yeah, maybe that's. He's going to be close to get to the end there. You can probably maybe a bit of fuel conserving, but we know that these cars will probably go just over the hour mark. So it's going to be touch and go.
That's going to be very.
Lolux.
That's going to be very touch and go for Lolux. If he could have gone another lap at least, maybe 2. Potentially, if he doesn't have that much damage, and that will see him to the end there, because I think the Toyota is probably the best on fuel.
Now, will they be taking the opportunity to take tyres, the LMPHs, to give them that extra pace in the end, or do you think it's not justifiable to put the tyres on? They'll lose a bit of time.
From my understanding of what the drivers were complaining about in the first session, I say for the drivability of the car, you take fronts at least. You take in fronts. You're not going to take rears because you lose too much time, but you're at least going to take fronts.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Move for the lead.
Not quite. But these 2 guys are going to catch data here at the wrong point.
Oh, Sato out on the grass, pushing the point. This is exactly what we were saying in session 3, both myself and Illogical Sports.
That was a Corvette, sorry, I thought it was an Aston. That was a Corvette, just.
Oh, then Sato's had to check out. And that's what we were saying, that this is what exactly the Notch Motorsport team with Lolux and Huds is aiming for, is hopefully they can pick up the pieces with both Matty Seeking and Sato going to be going for it for the outright victory. Pride is here for the Porsche to try and take victory. That's what's all been discussed in the media. The Porsche wants to. They want to go back to back in the Porsche, and he's not going to let back down at all if he get an opportunity. And if they both have an incident, could really open up the opportunity for the Toyota to take an unlikely victory here.
That's it.
What a fascinating battle we're seeing here for the outright victory of these LMPH cars. We haven't seen this at ANZCRL for quite a while.
Yeah, this is actually the closest battle for the LMPHs we've seen in a very long time. Generally, the race by this race, this session is basically almost a formality in previous years. It's just like, oh, I just need to do my laps and don't have to really worry about anything, don't do any risks, and the lead was that big. But this year, it's actually going to come down to the wire for a change.
It's good to see that the Porsche is matching the Audis in the hands of last year's winners. Obviously a tough combination, Sato and Dark Racing 40 together. So Lloydie there behind at the moment of Dado, but just in front of Dark Lord after we think Lloydie has actually done his pit stop, so he's not going to have to stop at all. So we're going to have to keep an eye as the guys filtering for their pits at the end for flush and go of the GTEs. How that might plan out for Lloydie.
That's it. Lloydie was complaining of wheel issues about 40 minutes in. So hopefully he doesn't have the same issues as he did. But hopefully with a 1 hour session, the game might be a little bit nicer to him and his wheel might be a little bit better.
One thing that the GTE guys obviously have been commenting about how their tyres turn to mush in these hot temperatures during the day, especially through the Porsche curves. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, especially after about the half an hour mark. Those tyres are going to be fairly worn and losing their grip. They're on soft tyres from our memory. Most of them, all of them will be on softs.
And Lurlux is pretty much caught up to the back of Sirius again, so he's going to take the position back for overall third in the minute. This is where the battle's right at now. Audi v Porsche, German versus German.
And this is where Sato really looked like he was going to make a move the previous lap, but they were in front of Lloydie, the birthday boy, and here he goes.
Oh,
the Porsche with its extra
down the
curves.
inside.
He's been able to harvest. He's been able to harvest more than Matty's seeking, and he's utilised that to the perfection. And can he hold on for the roller coaster around the Porsche curves?
Yeah, I think the Audi's been slightly better through the Porsche curves than the Porsche has been.
Oh, he's had to back down a gear there, Sato.
And they both run wide, but here comes Matty now. But they're catching the car too. And now they're catching Dado in the acid.
Dado currently third in class, the last year's GTE champion. I've said it nearly every coverage. I don't think you can count him out. Took victory after, I think it was a disconnect, from Jetto, was it? And Commander Cirrus, was it?
They both said, oh, Matty's outbraked himself.
Oh, Matty.
That was lucky.
That's a recover there.
Lucky not to take out Dado. But he hasn't dropped off too far off Sato now.
The old statesman there will be probably saying to him, calm it down, boys. This is all for glory now.
Yep, it's all for sheep stations. Now we're going to be catching up to Nürburgring by the look of it. I believe I saw the...
Now with Matty seeking on lower fuel of 44 litres, just remember the fuel tank in that Audi is smaller than the Porsche and uses less fuel. So they're both basically on the same sort of strategy and will be pitting to get roughly the same amount of fuel.
No, Matty's got stuck behind Nürburgring, chicane. Yeah, so I'll say the Porsche and Audi will probably pitting around the same time, maybe 1 lap difference, I reckon. But I reckon probably the stop time might be similar, actually, because the Audi has less fuel in, but it doesn't take that long to fill it up. But the Porsche has a bit more fuel, but it has more fuel in the tank, So
is there a call for an undercut, Darky? We're talking about the tyres, and you're saying the front tyres. Well, could the Audi take the opportunity to pit maybe at the half an hour mark, put 4 new tyres on and a bit of fuel, and then run it hard? Run it hard for the last half hour.
I wouldn't be putting 4 on now because it costs you 5 seconds, and that's really going to kill you. The car isn't terribly that bad once you've taken the tyres. Yeah, just the fronts. Yeah. But they have been doing an early pistol earlier than stop than I would have actually anticipated the Audi crew. So maybe an undercut might be the go. Come in, set on a new set of tyres on. Fill it right, maybe not fill the tank right, but fill it close enough and then to get to the end.
Yeah. So there's still going to be a number, so they know how much fuel they're going to have to burn. So it doesn't matter when they pit, as long as they get that amount of fuel in.
Yeah.
But the only way the undercut's going to work is if they get, I think, fresh rubber on, because then they can try and increase their lap times.
Yep. I reckon we'll see the Audi pit in about the next 10 minutes, and probably 5 minutes after that we might see the Porsche pit then.
So maybe a lap or 2 laps later.
Yeah, maybe there might be just 1 lap difference.
Will Sato do the opposite and do that too? No, in the undercut, Sato's the undercut king.
He could do that too.
We don't want you to disclose your strategies. I'm just saying.
No, this is Sato's plan. Like from now on, I said to him, I'm going to get to this point here, and then you do what you need to do. I came up with a plan to
Okay.
get us to here, and then from here it's up to him. If he wants to pit early, that's his choice. If he wants to run it till the fuel tank's empty, then fill it up and go again. So
Yeah, so it'll all play out in the next 10 minutes, I reckon.
So I would say
we'll see if any of the
potentially
guys.
from pretty much the end of this lap, all cars in theory should make it to the end. But then the question is, if they get an extra lap in, that really could hurt them. So a few people starting to pick up time points. Low Lux, Nürburg, and Lloyd's picked up one. Let's have a look at the other station. There's Dado. He is closing in on the forward of Nürburg. He's just 2.5 seconds behind. He's slowly closing the gap now.
Yeah, and he's got a lot more fuel than Nürburger as well, so he can run a bit longer than what Nürburger will.
This is the Throshi V8 with the Aston Martin. So Dado can see his prey just ahead of him here. Dado was the adventurous one in the session 2 last night. He only pitted for fronts. He never put rears on that whole session, so he basically did the whole race with just rear tires. They were cactus, so he said it was quite an experience that he doesn't wish to reproduce. All these two got both run wide here.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what he said. He didn't. I don't think he put any tyres on that first stop at the hour mark, did he? Whereas everyone else was.
He only took fronts. He didn't take the rears. He said.
Oh, okay. Look at him charging down to.
Look at that.
He seems to be bridging that gap with the power of the Aston Martin and the draft. Obviously, yeah, the extra pace coming into the first chicane and the move lane chicanes. He needs to apply that brake a lot harder. He's asking a lot of the brakes and the tyres. Pull it up, and here he goes. Nürburger's showing if you're going to do it, you're going to do it on the outside, but it looks like the Aston Martin with the extra power.
And now the Ford will get a slipstream here.
This is where Nürburger really needs to try and see if he can get a run out of the exit of this chicane so he can actually still hold on to the draft running into the Muse Lane corner up the end here.
That's it.
Which he's done a really good job.
Just be right on board the Ferrari. It's an American for Italian. Oh, Matty Segan's just picked up a time penalty too now. So he's pushing on.
So all these time penalties are gonna really hurt them at the end of this. This is the run to the flag. There's no time
back
pressure, no nothing.
There.
End result is end result.
Sirius, being the good teammate, decided to back out and let Matty have a crack at him. Because Sirius has all the time in the world to burn. Now that Dado's jumped up into second now. Sirius running a 54 the previous lap and Dado 55, so they're on the pace. Lloydie 56.
Yeah, so Lloydie's giving it some cheek there in fourth, but as we said, he's theoretically, I think you'd say he'd be third on track.
Yeah.
After the pit stops.
There he is. Yeah, so after the pit stop, it's safe to say that Lloydie should, in theory, jump Nürburg. He can close the gap down more, but will he have enough to get Dado on that? I don't think so.
Well, we just got to check those times. You know, Dado keeps faster than Lloydie. We know that he's going to increase that gap slowly. At the moment, Lloydie, if these all pitted, I'd say Lloydie would still probably come out in front of these guys.
Yeah. It also comes down to how much fuel they all need to put in too. So the more fuel they need to put in, the longer it's going to be to take. So
yeah, most of them, what would they to get to the end? Because most of the time it's just a splash. They probably only need 10 to 15 litres.
I think a bit more than 10 litres because they almost do burn 10 litres a lap. So
yeah, I think the talk of the leading BMW.
Oh, here goes Nürburg again. He's
10
pulled
litres.
the pin.
So this will tell us whereabouts he stands to Colonel Lloyd.
So Lloydie, if you can see in the track map, is the white dot behind him on the map there. So the blue arrow and the white dot, that's Lloydie. He's long just behind. We'll see what happens here. So we watch the Ferrari take its pit stop now. Sponsored by, I can't believe it's not a Ferrari. There's fuel going in. Let's see if he takes any tyres. That is fuel done. He's taking tyres. If he's doing now, if he was doing repairs.
So here comes Lloydie. He's just going through the Ford chicanes now and coming onto the straight so we can hear him.
There he goes.
He is.
And he's just about to jump. And he has now. I think Nürburgring's taking a full set of tyres.
It looks that way.
It's a long stop.
He,
it's a very long
has
stop.
61 litres. I wonder if he's filling up the whole thing as well.
No, there he goes. Now he's rolling.
That's more than a splash and dash.
Yeah, so he might have some
and
damage.
probably more
And
than
here comes
tyres.
Dark Lord. So he's doing his final stop. Just going to listen to the Toyota scream past.
So they're all doing it a little bit earlier than what we normally would see, because a lot of the time they run it a little bit later. But obviously, previous years we've always started with full tanks because we've never had the fuel rule in.
That's it. But also,
Yeah,
if you
they
think about
started
it,
on
if
the
you're going
fuel
to
load.
split your session into two parts, oh, he's just left with the fuel man just leaving there. Okay. But if you think about it, if you're going to run your car, it might be worth to split the session into a half and half situation. So
In the Aston Martin, they're looking about 6.5 litres a lap.
So-
we just heard from Tim and Jack.
speaking of half and half, will we see the Audi in this lap, or is he going to go one more time around?
We'll surely see, but Sato's going on for another one.
Yep. So's
So,
Matty.
There he is. Yeah, he's just following. I think they need to show their hand. I think they really need to try and try something. Maybe the undercut might work, as he's just
there
done
you
his
go.
fastest lap of the race, Matty,
That's
of this session.
It was just a fraction bit behind Sato then. So these two have kind of stabled out now. Oh, Matty getting a bit of wiggle. So then the question is, if you're this close, would you take the tyres? Because you can save you can save 5 seconds, but then you've got to deal with the car that might not handle well for 15-20 minutes. Because when I ran
That's
a
what I'm
test run, the
saying,
front
so over
tyre,
that
the wheel strut kicked in. You could still drive the car, but you just couldn't quite do the lap times. It was fine in the corners and braking. It's just under straights, it was terrible in your hand.
Yeah, so the fastest lap so far of this race in the LMPH is a 3:16.723 by Matty's teammate Weary Knight in this
That's
car.
So these two guys are trying to catch someone ahead of them. Which I've got wondering if it's... I wonder if it's... No, it's not Lloyd, it is... No, it is Dada, the Dark Lord. There he is.
So it's a perfect spot for Sato to overtake his fellow junior Porsche
That's it.
teammate.
So now the question
Maybe
is,
he
will the Audi get stuck behind him at the corner because there's a bit of a gap there? Oh no, he should get him on the exit.
No, he should be right. He should be on the exit.
So time penalties are accruing up everywhere now. Matty's got one, Lolok's got one, Sirius has got one, Lloydie's got one, Nürburgring's got one. I don't think Dark Lord has one. So we'll see. We'll go on board and see what it's like to watch when an LMPH car blasts past a GTE car. There it goes.
Oh yeah. Can be very dicey in different situations, as you can see. Sometimes they do that around that Porsche curve, and you saw Lolux earlier try and do it. Ended up in the wall, slip in the wall.
Yeah, I had to do
trying to post Nürburgring.
I had to do it myself a couple of times, and one was sketchy, was really sketchy. The other time was sort of fine. I just hanged around the outside of the corner, and the car just sort of stuck in there nicely.
So will we see one of these LMPHs pitting in now?
So the thing is, Sato can't even cover Matty if they both, unless he chooses to pit first.
But I think even if Matty pits now this lap, Sato will be in the next lap, and he's already got that 3-4 second lead.
That's
I
it.
don't think an undercut's on the cards with that that difference. So it'll probably have to be over a distance of about 2 laps. So they're probably getting close to their regular time in the next hour. It's another 10 minutes, isn't it? Really?
And there he
Have
goes.
to pattern. Here he comes.
Hard on the brakes. That pit entry is extremely tough to get the car slowed down for it.
And they also want to make sure that they hit that pit limiter mark of that 60 without incurring a penalty, because all of a sudden that'll be a 10-second end of race penalty.
Well, speaking of penalties,
gives
it's a 1 second for Matty, Lolux 4, Cirrus 2, 3 for Lloyd, and 4 for Nürburg. So fuel going in.
So they'll be getting enough to get themselves to the end.
So that's fuel done. And I'd say front tyres are going on as well now.
Yeah, I would be doing, that's what you need to do, I
that
think.
looks like a front tyre change. Just put fronts on again.
You haven't put your normal comment about the Predator workwear.
No, that's
Predator workwear.
Yep, that sponsors all our pit crew here in ANZCRL Combined Racing League. If you can't see them, it doesn't matter. So Matty's out of pit lane now.
But in the last session, we saw the pit crew all solid, but you couldn't see actually what they were doing. So the previous session, apparently, it worked out all right.
So Sato's got a 52-second lead right now. So it's safe to bet either Sato's going to do this lap or come in the next lap. There it is in the Porsche, the 919 hybrid. It's also a battle of fuels here too. It's petrol versus diesel.
Yeah, that's right as well.
Let's have a look at that.
The Cirrus is as his name says, he's got a commanding lead at the moment.
He's
over
actually
Dado.
increased the gap over Dado too, because that was under 50 seconds. Now it's over 50 seconds.
Yeah, so something's gone wrong there with Dado. He might have got caught up, or maybe a little spin trying to chase. He didn't come in for the pits at all, because he would be further behind if he did.
That's it. So the question is, let's have a look at Lloydie. He is 47 seconds behind Dado. So
And he's bridged the gap over Nürburger too.
Yeah, he's
Nürburger
fast.
was right behind him.
yeah, just pull the gap.
When Nürburger came out of the pit, so Nürburger's lost some time.
Because he had a slow stop. I think he's put all 4 tyres on to make the car nice for the whole stint. It was just a very slow lap. If you look at his previous lap, it was a 5-minute 4-second lap.
That was his out lap, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's his out lap. So this lap we'll see what his actual pace is. So here's Lloydie, the man who's running to the end now. He doesn't need to stop. So the question is, will this undercut get Dado?
Yeah, well, it's a big thing that obviously the number 60 RFH team would like to see is hold on to second. They've led the majority of the first half of this race. They were leading at the 3-hour mark. Well, we could also say the 12-hour
Here
mark.
comes Sato behind him, I believe that was.
Game time.
And no, he's going around again. I thought Sato.
Sticking to his guns, I'd say.
That's it. I thought Sato would have did then just to cover him off, but obviously he thought he wants to run the tank right down to its empty. Maybe get the car
So
right
we've
on
got
fuel and
just-
try and do a quick lap and then pit the car.
Yeah,
So
so
I
we've
would
just got 26 minutes remaining.
I would say we'll
This
probably
24-hour
see this
race.
portion this lap around, I'd say. Let's have a look at Lolux in the Toyota, holding down third. He's up on his time, so he's going quicker. So Lolux and Hud's driving the Toyota this year. Fortunately, we would have had more LMP H cars this year, but we've had a few issues and they've had to drop out.
Yeah, unfortunately, but hopefully next year we might come back bigger and stronger.
That's
and,
it.
Let's see if we can get a few more. But the battle for the GTE class has been great all race too. But Cirrus, as that previous session 3, from 3 o'clock in the morning to 1 p.m. was an outstanding drive by Cirrus. Just didn't do anything wrong and just charged on through.
That's it. Now as we go on board of the Toyota. One of the more noisier LMP hatch cars. You can actually see his Lotus has had a bit of damage. The front left-hand corner, the body clip has come a bit loose there. As you compare it to the right-hand
Yeah,
side, so that's a bit of damage he's
that's
copped.
where I think, yeah, that's when he ran into the wall of the Porsche Curse when he tried to overtake, I think it was Nürburger.
Yeah, that's it.
Which was probably a bit of an ambitious move, which is obviously sort of ruined his chances maybe of picking up any scraps that may happen of the leading two LMPHs, because they've got a fairly sizable lead now.
That's it. I don't think these boys won't be too disappointed in their performance. I think the Toyota is probably the hardest to get their head around a bit. The Audi is probably, I wouldn't say it's the easiest to drive, but it's the easiest to drive fast, where the Porsche is, it's easy to drive, but it's really hard to drive fast. It really takes something special to drive it fast. It's a unique car, the way it performs.
Yeah, and we did hear before we started this session though, one of our previous members, Shads, has got it up on the time trials. This car is a 3:15.
Yep. So
as a lap in a time trial, so it's got the ability.
It has the ability. But I think it's probably the way you potentially drive and deploy the curves with this car. So there is something to it to make it quick around here. But he's worked out, and the rest of us have sort of struggled to get our head around it to make it work. So. Here comes Sato. Is he going to pit now? No, he's not. He's going around again.
So how much fuel's he actually got, Darky?
Enough for one more lap. Well, technically 2 more laps, actually. He can go 2 more times around.
Yeah, he could go 2 more and be running it absolutely dry, but there's probably no benefit of doing that.
No, the safe bet would be to pit at the end of this lap.
So he's basically got a 55-second buffer on Matty. That should be enough for him to get into pits, the amount of fuel he's going to need, and then go. But if he's going to put tyres on, it could get very close.
That's it.
But then that's going to make Sato a lot stronger at the end of the race, and he knows as well that Matty has got that time penalty overhanging him, which they would be aware as well, because it comes up on their HUD. There'll be a 1-second penalty.
Well, here we go. Now he's stuck behind the floor, and that's costing Matty, unfortunately. But that's the ebbs and flows of endurance race with multi-class racing. Sometimes you get the break, and other times you don't get the break, because that happened to me in the previous session just before. In the first quarter, I wasn't getting the break. In the middle stint, all the brakes seemed to come my way, and then by the end of the race, it went the other way. I wasn't getting any of the brakes again. So.
And it's all about you just trying to keep a level head, isn't it, Darky? When that happens, you just don't get frustrated. You can try and push the point. That's when accidents can happen. And especially in those 2-hour sessions that you guys have all just done, you get a little bit doughy and all that sort of stuff, so your reflexes aren't quite there.
Let's have a look at the Beamer, Porsche.
Even these drivers been in only an hour session for these drivers. They've been going at it for 24 hours, like mentally, basically, like helping their teammates and things like that.
We've been probably I'd say from Friday night, we've just been thinking about this race, and that's it. So in theory, for most of us, mentally wise, it's almost a 36-hour race we'll be going through. Like after this, most of us will be pretty happy to have a break now. Like I haven't even cleaned my house yet. It's still a pigsty.
Yes, that's exactly right. So it's got a bit of whatever food you can get, and then it's basically get back into it. So
that's it. Well, considering my lunch was just chicken tenders, that's all I ate. Nothing but chicken tenders. So, but seriously, doing well.
6 hours actual sim racing in this event,
but seriously, doing well in the Beamer. We were a bit shocked by the Beamer. Thought, okay, we always thought the Beamer was a bit slow, but we always had this feeling that the Beamer actually was quicker than what it was actually saying. It was just a bit of a unique car to get your head around. So, and Seriously has proven that, doing the lap record in the previous session.
Yeah, with 3:53.367 seconds.
That's it.
So that's an official lap record of ANZCRL for GTE class.
And I have heard rumours of the Corvette actually going even faster than that in unofficial practice too. So, but unfortunately that doesn't count in the lap times. But that just shows the pace of our drivers, because we're all doing 54s and 53s, and the Series just runs deep there as the Toyotas come in the background. Where previous years we would be doing 56s, 58s would have been the pace.
Yeah, that's what I said when the GTs first featured here about 3 years ago. I think everyone was happy with 58s, 358s,
Yeah.
357s.
Anything under a 4 minute
and that's what
was
I
a
said
good lap time. Anything under a
Yeah,
as he comes
exactly right.
low lux, he just gets held up
Sato's
here.
in.
Sato's pit, yep, so that's it. So he's pulled the trigger now. So fuel going in. See, Porsche team isn't sponsored by Predator Workwear. We can't afford it. We spend all our money on the car, not on our race suits. So let's have a quick look at Matty. Where's Matty? Matty's on his way to the Porsche curve. So Sato's still, and Sato's rolling. Done.
Sato's gone. So there's no tyres from Sato. He's put a stamp on this race now. And he said, if you want to catch me, Matty, come and get me. But we know Matty looks like he put tyres on. So will this help Matty at the later stages of the race when Sato's tyres are going to be worn out?
And he's just easing the Porsche curves as Sato's now pulls out of pit lane now. So under 19 minutes remaining. He's got a 22 second lead.
Extended his lead as well, Darky.
That's it. So the question is, when are the GTEs going to pit now? Let's do a little.
Well, we know Lloydie's already pitted, and
so
then
Lloydie's done, and
Dark Lord's pit, and Nürburg's pitted.
So it's really Cirrus and Data now.
They're the two that have to pit, yes.
So he's got 20 litres, and let's have a look at Data, 25.
I think Dado's just running to see if he can hold on to second here. I think he knows that the only way he's going to get first is if Cirrus gets into a bit of a scuffle or drama with an LMP3 car, or even lapping a fellow GTE car.
Or he could do what he happened in the previous session. He just lost it coming behind me.
Yeah, that can happen too, yes.
Anything can happen in this race. So let's have a look at Dark Lord, the man who unfortunately, his teammate had an issue and cost him a lot of time. But he's now... I'm pretty sure he's still on the lead lap.
He's on the lead laps of the GTEs. He was actually 10 laps down at one stage. Obviously, with time compression helped that. But, you know, in the argument we're talking 24-hour times. He was 10 laps down after Slide Science, unfortunately, his wheel mouth off pedals failed.
Yep. So...
And was 10 laps down, had to pull it up short.
It's in, I think, was it Dark Lord finished, I believe, was it second at the end of the first session?
Yeah, in the first session, he finished second, and gave the car to Slide Science with only a 17-second gap between the 60 RFH Corvette of Jetto and Colonel Lloyd.
So he's done well. Like if Slide didn't have that issue, could have been right in this. Could have been battling for second to third at least, I would say. But he's done well. He's kept it going.
Well, don't forget that he also put the Porsche on second row of the grid with a 354.126. So that's...
Oh, no!
And talking about... Oh, no! We talked about him last time. He did the same thing. So it's the commentator's curses bit him again, and he's got a long way around now, Darky.
Yeah, that's it. So he'll be pitching this lap, unfortunately. So
just getting back to the lap time, a qualifying lap record. We don't actually record them. We record only the race time laps. But Jetto in the number 60 RFH Corvette, he did a 352.646. So that's what you're saying about the 52 of the Corvettes.
Yep.
So there's definitely there for the Corvette. So that was in ideal conditions as well.
That's it. So
low tanks, fresh tyres.
But he's Nürburg. Just almost 16 minutes remaining now.
Yeah, counting down the minutes now. Been a tremendous race. We started just after 3 p.m. Yesterday, and we're almost just gone over the 24-hour mark now, being 3:13 now.
That's it. Here's Colonel Lloyd in the Corvette. 53 seconds behind Dado, so he's kind of stabilised behind Dado. I don't think he's really closed in too much. May have lost a little bit, but he's just holding that pace. So for Lloyd to get any further up the grid, he has to wait till Dado pits. So hopefully Lloyd's got his fuel calculations right and won't run out of fuel, but we'll see how it happens.
Yeah, the thing that's going to kill them is that extra lap. You know, we've seen the pace of Cirrus. He actually did the one extra lap compared to what they've been doing in the 2-hour session. So we'll see if he can manage more than 16 laps in this 1 hour session, because that's what they did in the first session, the GTEs.
Let's have a look at Dado now as he comes
The
onto the Mulsanne.
LMPHs did got 18 laps down, so there's another pretty much 4 more laps remaining of this race.
And here comes the Audi. Matty Seeking down the inside of Dado. Lights are blazing both cars. Yasin with the most brightest lights of all the GTE cars, because there's one's in the centre.
Yeah, they're really blind in there at night.
So we enter the first chicane here on Mulsanne.
But Sato is doing a ripper of a job at the moment. He showed his pace. He's been constantly fast. And that outlap that he did from after his pit stop was a 3:53. So that's a rocket. We're seeing 4-minute outlaps. So he's really got the grip between his teeth and just smashing it.
That's it. Let's have a look at Cirrus, the leading GTE class, BMW. So when will these guys be pitting? Because last time we checked, they had about 20 litres, and that was probably about 2 laps ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cirrus in potentially this lap, and so would Dado. There's no LMP cars closing in dramatically yet on Cirrus.
And one thing as well, we've got pit stop errors turned off, so all the hard work these drivers are putting in as well won't fall foul from the game just randomly putting in an error.
That's it. So also
we've had run before previously, and it does get a bit upsetting for some drivers.
Yeah,
some
they do.
People get the brunt more than others.
That's it. So also just a reminder, we also have Darklaw's in pit lane, so he's finally made it to pits to repair his Porsche. Also, don't forget we have the website. What is it? www.ausaus-nzcrl.weebly.com.
That's it.
You can check all our previous series, previous trophy room, upcoming series. If you're an Australian or New Zealand Xbox Project Car 2 player and want to come and do some league racing with us and special events, you can have it there. And here comes Cirrus into pit lane. You can also enter our events via there. We also have the Facebook group, AusAUS/NZ Combined Racing League. Answer the 3 questions and come and join us in there. So here comes Cirrus into pit lane, the Beamer.
Yeah, and we've got all levels of ability as well. We run a lot of tiered championships. Our pro guys normally run on the Sunday, and then the tier 2 guys on the Saturday.
That's it. We take all tiers. We're willing to help drivers learn experience. Just don't go, oh, I'm not fast enough, I'm not going to race. Experience makes pace. So a lot of these guys weren't the fastest. Like I wasn't the fastest driver, and Sato's gone. Let's see if Dado fits now. So I wasn't the fastest guy when I joined this league, but as time's gone on, I progressed. It also helps when the faster boys leave.
Haha, that's right. There have been a few faster boys leave into iRacing.
That's it.
And they're doing well over there and enjoying their experience on PC.
Dado's going around again, so he's going to close in on Cirrus, but not enough. The Cirrus is out of pit lane, but that's not going to be enough of a close.
Now, yeah, he doesn't have enough fuel at the end, does he?
No.
Even if he's been conserving, there's no way.
No, 13 litres, he's in this lap, I guarantee it. Or maybe 2 laps,
Yeah.
He might push it 2 laps, but still 2 laps isn't the race. That's at least maybe 2 laps too short. So, but yes, we do have, we don't do iRacing League races, but we do have an AusNZ Combined Racing League car entered in the special events, so we try and promote that as much as we can when they do happen.
This is for iRacing?
Only for iRacing. So Dado, one of the eldest statesmen we have. Who's the youngest person in this race right now? It had to be Cirrus, wouldn't it? Cirrus or Matty? Cirrus or Matty?
Matty Seeking. I think Matty Seeking's the
one of these. Yeah, one of these two would have to be the juniors of the group, and then Dado, the elder statesman. And when I mean elder, I do mean elder. He's been around for 150
he'll be surprised by his age, and currently running second in class of the GTEs. And as we said, you're probably sick of me saying it, but the defending champion from last year in class.
So we're just
different driver pairing though. He did have Metal Drive 05 last year.
That's it. Unfortunately, Metal Drive couldn't come back to help defend the title.
And this is the moment now. 10 minutes remaining. The drivers now, they're going to just start thinking, that little wobble in the wheel, what's going on.
And
with their
Lilac says that's a
gear
pit now for his final stop, because obviously he pitted too early, 12 litres. Yeah, so he's going to need, he's going to need like probably literally 5 litres.
Just to get to the end.
Yeah, literally about 5 litres.
I think, as I said, that first lap where he tried to get over the outside of Nürburgring, just pushing, he was on his own. There's no need that he could have done. He should have just held on the Porsche curves.
Oh, he's putting way too much. He's putting way too much fuel. But that's all right. He's repairing the car, so at least he wants to have a nice, comfortable car for the final 10 minutes here. So
yeah, that's what you want.
So
bring it home for the sponsors, make it look good.
So Cirrus is a 12-second lead over Dado, but Dado's yet to pit. Well, let's check out the Corvette. Oh, that's blown out now. Oh, Lloydie's starting to have issues. The car's starting to wobble in a straight line.
That wheel again.
Yeah, I think that wheel's because his lap time was at 3:59. He's starting to struggle now. He just needs to hang on for 10. Yeah, look at it. He's struggling now. He's having issues again.
So he just wants to try and hold on here the best he can for the next 10 minutes so he can hold third.
Which will be hopefully 3 laps. He's hoping no more than 3 laps. Maybe even 2 if he's lucky. 2 if he's lucky.
Well, we were saying that 18 laps, so the leaders of the LMPH are just on their 16th lap.
He's going to
there's another 2 more laps.
Yeah, he will get lapped by, where is Lloydie? Oh, Cirrus is just coming onto the Mulsanne. Maybe Lloydie might get lapped here. If Lloydie will, no offense, will be like, please lap me, lap me.
Yeah. But if he gets lapped anyway, it's still another 2 laps though, because as we said, there's 2 laps for Sado. He'll be on completed 18 laps on his 19th lap at the very end.
So here's Dado.
Once he takes a check up.
Should see the Aston Martin come to pits now. Oh, Cirrus made a mistake. And Dado's going around
Cirrus
again.
has made a mistake, so Dado's going around. This is his plan, obviously, to try and just put a little bit of fear in Cirrus.
7.8 litres
nothing
to get
like
around.
Nothing like competition.
And he's done his fastest lap.
Well, that's it. And can Dado upset the BMW and maybe give him a little bit of a hello nudge down the back of the bumper here? He's not that type of driver.
This is not what Cirrus would have wanted. So Cirrus had what?
No way.
He had a 10-second lead. He's made a mistake, and here comes Dado. And Dado, if he can sit behind the Beamer, he's just going to blast past him. But then Dado's going to have to pit, so he's probably aware that he has to pit.
Yeah, I think Cirrus is just going to let him go because he knows that Dado's going to have to pit. So no use trying to get. Oh, Dado's trying hard.
He's lit up
and there you go. That's competition for you. Exactly that. You know, they're pushing hard. He was in the back of the mirror of Cirrus. Cirrus made a mistake somewhere, and now Dado trying to make his opportunity has come up into the barriers. So Dado's into the 53s as well, 353.639 seconds.
He's got damage on the front. You can see the bottom's all piked up. But he's got the draft of Cirrus again, so... But he's going to have to pit here because he's not going to make it on fuel. The race ain't going to end yet.
Yeah, he's also going to have a bit of suspension damage too. It's going to be lean in one way.
Hopefully not. Maybe just aero.
It was a pretty good hit.
Hopefully just aero. You can tell the time has dropped off at the front here because Sato and Matty are in the 320s now. But here's Cirrus coming towards the
so I could understand Sato dropping off a little bit, but Matty must have held up maybe a little bit because Sato's on the older tyres. Matty did change tyres.
I reckon he's changed tyres. So with 6 minutes remaining, we're at least looking at 2 laps here to go.
The big thing is though, at the end of the day, as the fuel level for Matty, did he put enough in? Because doing 21s, is he fuel conserving? That's another thing. He may have just realised that he may not have enough fuel, especially if they at that pace that they've been going. If they get an extra lap, which I doubt they will, though, I think it'll still be only 18 laps. They get this lap and the next.
Yeah, so
that's all they'll get.
Yeah, they're not going to sneak in like a technical 19, an extra lap in, because across the line at 6 minutes, you're doing laps around the 3-minute 20s. so it will finish. The race will be cancelled. Checkered flag when we expect it to be.
Checkered flag. Yep. So there's this lap and then the next, and that's will be it.
So Sirius he's got a battle on his hands, so he's made a mistake somewhere. But Dado's then made a mistake. But Dado
has made a mistake. Look at the back of his light. It's not on, so he's obviously put it into the back of the wall somewhere. The back left of Sirius's car, the light's not operating.
Oh yeah, so yeah, he has either lost it and tagged the wall. So I'd say
that car won't be handling as well as what he thinks. So he's obviously got a little bit of a problem.
A little bit of rear damage, but we will be seeing Dado in this lap. If he doesn't come in, well, we're going to see a champion happen. Yeah, look at that. Dado,
definitely.
Sirius has got no pace in this corner. So he's probably got rear aero damage, and he's just hanging on, just to keep the rear end under control. Because you can hear Dado having to feather the throttle. He's just got no pace. Look at this. So Sirius is slow there.
That one little mistake, but I don't think it would have been enough to change the order.
And there goes Dado down to pit lane.
Comes into the pits. Hard on the brakes, got to negotiate the chicane into pit lane. He's done that well.
But now the question is, where is Lloyd? Lloyd is 57 seconds behind. So this
is too far up the road.
Yeah,
too far.
Yeah, I think you are right. I think Lloyd is he's coming out of Arnage.
Yeah, Dado at the end of the day, he doesn't even have to repair damage. He had pace still on Sirius, so he could just do his fuel and go.
Yeah, but if he wants to maybe have a chance of getting back at him, but he's only going to have one lap basically.
It's only a lap.
There you go.
Lap and a half.
I don't think he'd repair. I think he's just fueled and go. So here comes Sado. So we are just about to cross the minimum threshold for that potential extra lap.
Yeah, it's gone now. So it's definitely going to be an 18 lap.
That's it.
This session, that'll bring the total laps into 107 laps for this 24, which was over 6 hours of racing. 107 laps for the LMPHs.
30 seconds, Lloyd, he closed up on. There he is.
Not enough.
Not enough, unfortunately. So obviously having wheel issues again. He's just struggling. The last lap was a 3:59. Let's see what he's doing now. Yep, 4:01. Yeah, he's struggling with wheel issues again, unfortunately, Lloyd in the Corvette. So he's just hanging on. He's got. Where is Sado? Let's have to get Sado. So there. This will be Lloydie's last lap. So we'll be thankful that happened. Because serious, Sado will get Lloydie.
Yep, that's exactly right. And Sado, without trying to give any the commentator's curse, he's done everything he needs to do. He's just got to keep it clean, make the pass on Lloydie, and that's about it. He won't have to pass any other GTE car, I don't think. I don't think he'll get
there's
Dado. Dado's just coming through sector 1 now.
Maybe if he's lucky, he won't get him at all. Yeah, because look how much Lloydie's struggling. Even when Sado went past him, he's wiggling all over the road. So Lloydie will be very happy for this race to finish now. So Lloydie's on his last lap. He'll be happy with that. But here comes the number 1 Porsche on its final lap.
And what a terrific team both you and Sado have put together here. Champions last year by a lap, I think it was, and then to this year,
what's a lap?
back into the Porsche. And taking the Porsche as the rules didn't allow you to take the Audi again, and absolutely put this thing on rails. And it's a great job.
It wasn't on rails when I hit the wall. That's off the rails.
It is off the rails, mate, but you can be off the wall now and then, mate, and still celebrate. So I hope you guys have a good celebration tonight. It's been a terrific event again.
Well, we still got half.
ANZCRL Combined Racing League.
Well, still not counting my eggs. We've got half a lap to go.
Let's check the fuel. Oh, he's got 1 litre left.
So that one's fine. 7 litres, he's laughing.
So there you go.
Let's have a look at our second place Audi. Matty Siki. He's dropped off the pace through 3:22s.
Yeah, it's a great drive by Weary Knight in that.
They've really run the fuel low. That's very low.
Yeah. Yeah, but they don't use that much fuel though, do they?
No, but he'll be down to about 2 litres by the time he reaches the start-finish line. So that's pretty low. That's pretty low. If he somehow snuck an extra lap in, he would have had to pit now.
So great drive though by Weary Knight in that P51 Sim Sports car in that third session from 3 o'clock in the morning to the 1 p.m. Afternoon time, where he obviously took the lead of the race from yourself, Dark Racing, after some nice battling between the both of you.
Yep, that was very enjoyable and slightly annoying.
Yeah, at the
It's like
same time,
that Audi is super quick here to the Porsche cars, and with my stint, it just wasn't as nice. I would have liked to there, but do the Porsche cars for the final time. As I've said, it's just backed off to make sure he didn't cop a time penalty and take it easy through there.
I'll let you take it through, Darky. This is your teammate, mate. Your team. Well done.
And here he comes, Sato 15 in the number 1 Porsche, defending champions in the Ford chicane for the final time. And that is back-to-back, baby.
Well done. What a great victory, guys. A sensational job. And that's a well-deserved victory from Sato and Dark Racing 40. But we won't take any away from the P51 Sim Sport guys and Matty Seekin and Weary Knight.
Monster effort this time. And here comes
First
Matty.
time in the Audi.
That's it.
Absolutely killed it as well to come home second.
That's it. We were slightly worried if these guys unlocked the full potential of the Audi that they would have been unstoppable, but they just didn't quite get it there. But there we go, Matty Seekin, well done. Second place. Lloyd has come home in
nice
third.
Job.
There he is. He's just getting in there. Look, yeah, he's violently struggling, but he's got it there.
In the GTE class, well done to both them and
he's got a long way to go.
Jedi 13.
And Alex is finished.
Are you sure he's finished?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
There we go. Burnouts for everyone.
Burnouts everywhere.
Unfortunately, the LMPH cars don't burnouts that well.
Pick up the lead of Commander Cirrus because he's done a terrific job. All them guys in the BMW team should be congratulated.
I think Nürburgring.
Where do they qualify?
Now. Yep, here comes Nürburgring. Well done, Nürburgring, the solo driver. Well.
Yeah, the only solo driver, the full 6 hours. That's right.
Dark Lord is, yep, the third last car. Then Cirrus and Dado, the last cars.
Yeah, so we've also got the BMW team. They've qualified 4th. At the end of the first session, they were still in 4th position, and then that's when the charge started to happen. They crept up a position into 3rd position after the second session. The third session, they put themselves in front of took the lead of the race over the Chevrolet Corvette team of Lloydie and Jetto, and haven't looked back since. They had a little scare there with obviously last year's winner, Dado Racer, at the later stages, but as we knew, Dado had to still pit. But what a great job from the GTE class this year. Remember, way back yesterday, Darky, we watched the first hour and we pretty much could not take our cameras off the GTE battle.
No, they were intense that first hour. It was fantastic.
You can catch that on our ANZ's Combined Racing League YouTube channel. It'll be all up under the Daytona 24 Hours playlist later on tonight, and you can re-watch and catch all that action from that first session. It was intense.
That's it. So here comes Cirrus, final time through the Porsche curve. Dado Racer, he's just entered Indianapolis. So this will be the first win of BMW at Le Mans, actually.
It will be, yes.
Because we've had Corvette. I think we've had Ford, if I'm correct. I could be wrong. I know Corvette. I'm pretty sure.
While you're going through that, I'll quickly go through the archive.
But here comes Cirrus. He's taking it easy. He's got a big gap over Dado. 20 seconds still, not super slow. But here he comes. The man in black, the BMW number 100 from P51 Sim Sports into the Ford chicane for the final sign. Commander Cirrus and Illogical Sport have won the GTE class here at ANZ Combined Racing Leagues Le Mans 2021. Congratulations.
So yeah, we had the Corvette, just so we know, we had the Corvette of Speed Racer, 4247 win it on 91 laps back in 2019.
And
then obviously last year we had this man, Dado Racer, won it last year in the Aston Martin.
That's it, and that is it, done and dusted.
And well done. A lot of congratulations coming through the chat here on the Twitch channel. We appreciate your sticking around with us, guys, and showing your appreciation to these drivers. They have done a tremendous job throughout the full 6 hours simulating a 24-hour race. As we said, 107 laps for the LMPH cars. And I just got to try and pick up what we would have seen in total of the GTEs. If you want to go through the order there,
all right.
Darky. And
so, overall winner, Sato 15 in the number 1 Porsche. Matty Seeking comes home in second in the Audi. Lolux finishes third in the Toyota GTE class. Well done to Commander Sirius in the BMW. Dado Racer in the Aston Martin comes home in second. Colonel Lloyd having wheel issues again, but comes home in third. Not too bad for him and Jetto. Nurburg, the man doing it solo in the Ferrari, comes home in fourth overall, fourth in GT and fourth overall. And Dark Lord, who's come back on the comeback tour, is finished on 1 lap down, but comes home in eighth. As Commander Sirius and Sato have joined us. Welcome, boys, and congratulations.
Yes, back to back, baby.
Back-to-back winners. Well done, guys. Tremendous job in that Porsche team. Number 1 car, number 1 for a reason. Sato and Dark Racing 40. How does that feel?
I'm rapt. I'm absolutely rapt. I'm so happy now.
He's the greatest victory in ANZCRL history.
Yep, because we got the Porsche to get to victory.
Well done, guys.
Well done. That is a tremendous job. And just we've got Commander Sirius at the P51 Sim Sports BMW M6 GTL M. After 93 laps, you have taken victory, Sirius. That must taste sweet.
Oh, it does, especially after the heartbreaker last year when we disconnected with 2 in the second session. Brought us right out of it, but that makes up for it. This in Daytona, unbelievable.
Yeah, and your good buddy, a Logical Sports, teaming up with you, doing tremendous drives yesterday in the session 1, session 2, giving you a good little start to the race this morning at 3 o'clock in the morning. I believe that you had a a 30-second wait time, and you put that to bed pretty quick, and had a good battle with obviously the defending champion, Tim and Jack and Dado Racer. But once you cleared them, you just set your mind onto taking the lead over Jetto and Colonel Lloyd, and never looked back since.
Yeah, I just tried to keep it clean once I got to the lead. The car felt better last session than it did this time around, but yeah, kept it mostly clean except for that last 10 minutes, and that could have been race over if it was any harder.
Yeah, we came back to you and saw all of a sudden there was a 1 second gap between you and Dado, and they're like, well, Sato's Sirius had an incident here. And then we picked up, you've trained the car somewhere because your left-hand taillight was out. So what happened? Because we kind of missed it.
In the Porsche curves, I dipped the right rear on the grass on that final left-hander, and I felt it starting to go, and I tried to catch it. I hit the clutch in, slammed those brakes on, and just prayed, and it rolled back into the fence, unfortunately. I came back on the track as Dado was right there as well, and I knew he had to pit, but yeah, if he'd got round me, I think he had hit the wall on his next lap as well. But if he'd gotten round me, I think it might have been a bit closer than what it was. I was then just tippy-toeing it around. It was pretty undrivable.
Yeah, we saw that through the Porsche curves. We could tell you
ended
were
up being the 20-second difference there. Dado didn't repair damage. He came in fuel and out he went. So I don't think it would have been too much. Dado didn't lose much time when he hit that wall. But, mate, you put up a good effort. Next year, will we see in the LMPHs? That's a thing there. We'll wait and see, obviously, for next year. But the big question, Dado 15 and Dark Racing 40. Toyota next year?
Oh, don't know yet.
We might
as well. Let's see if we can get a victory in all 3 mates.
Try and get the triple header.
Yeah, in all 3 mates.
Okay. Well done. Any other final thoughts, guys, before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I just want to thank my co-driver, Logical Sports, for a mega drive in the first 2 first 2 stints. He got had a bit of a tough time there. Yeah, you probably had a lot of fun too racing the boys, but yeah, got a bit sick last night, he said, and struggled in that session too. But I'm glad he kept his head down and kept going and put me in a position to finish it off. And I just also like to thank all the other GTE competitors. It could have been any one of us up here today, and yeah, just unlucky for a few of the guys out there. Just this race needs a bit of luck to come your way, to be honest.
So true there, serious and good words, mate. So, yeah, well, we're ANZCRL Combined Racing League. This has been one of our most sought-after events, the 5th run-in of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. We'll be back again next year for the 6th run-in. We don't know what game we'll be on, if it's still going to be these Project Cars 2 or possibly Project Cars 4. But we'll definitely be running it no matter what. It's one of the best races you can do. You can find us, we've said it all before, just do a Google search for ANZCRL, you'll find us. Come and join us if you're Australian, New Zealand racers.
On Xbox.
But that wraps up on Xbox, sorry. And yeah, thanks again, Dark Racing 40 and all of our fellow admin. The other two that actually were speaking, both Sado and Cirrus, we've done a tremendous job to keep this thing going over the last, what did we start back in 2016, and we're still going in 2021. So here for the long haul, and look forward to seeing everyone back on next Sunday or Saturday, I should say, when we go back to our regular series. All right. That's the end, guys, and thanks again for everyone watching, and we'll be back again for our next event sometime shortly.
Bye.
Thank you.